Hello again. Whenever foreigners run amok on the streets of English cities, one of the first things the police reassure us about is that the attack was not religiously motivated. Sometimes this is true, but at others the statement is no more than government-sponsored disinformatia to prevent us from fretting about Muslims. Not that it matters all that much, of course, really. Stabbing which took place on Westminster Bridge this morning may not have been an Islamist attack, but those involved were certainly Muslims, a mixed bag of Egyptians and other North African Arabs. Their precise motivation hardly matters. It is only their behaviour which concerns us. Some Muslims seem to have an unhealthy fascination for Westminster Bridge. In 2017, 4 people were killed there by an Islamist attack. A couple of years later, there was another such attack. The bridges of central London are now guarded by steel posts and barriers, the very architecture of the capital altered to discourage violence by Muslims. Some of this may well be religiously motivated, but not always. The stabbing today was, it seems, part of a row about who can set up a stall selling peanuts on the bridge. They were literally brawling with knives over peanuts. The thumbnail to this video shows Westminster Bridge as it was in the 1960s. Notice how empty it is? These days, it takes ages to force your way through the crowds which are heaving on that bridge. There are, in addition to foreigners selling peanuts, others performing the old cup and ball trick or 3-card Monte. That is to say, find a lady. There's probably half a dozen such games going on there at any one time. Look at the picture in the thumbnail again and try to imagine what would have happened if you tried to set up a stall selling peanuts on Westminster Bridge in those days, or to cheat people at illegal gambling. How long do you suppose it would have been before a policeman came along and put a stop to such things? These days, the idea of seeing a policeman on the bridge is ridiculous. They have far better things to do than simply patrol the streets to discourage that sort of behaviour. Our capital city is all like that these days. I wonder if anybody watching this video would really care to assert that the situation is better on Westminster Bridge today than it was in the 1960s. I'm inclined to doubt it. It was a peaceful, quiet and tidy scene. Now it resembles the marketplace of a town in North Africa or the Middle East. We've simply given up and are prepared to tolerate any level of violence, disorder or poor behaviour, anything rather than make a fuss. Even mentioning that it is foreigners who are responsible for the change in the atmosphere on Westminster Bridge is too much for many people, and they pull a face if they hear such a thing, muttering racism under their breath.